Hello and welcome to the Many Parallels. We're your hosts, Trevor and Zach, and today we are talking about our top five most influential albums to us. Play the intro. All right, so
Lay it on me, bro.
Zachary, what is? I got mine organized in like chronological order of
I was
impactfulness.
trying to do that, but then I just spontaneously listed them. So
I mean, my list is like, I have an honorable mention, and then one, and then five, and then two, like as they came to mind. But
okay.
Starting off, chronologically or not, what is one of your influential albums and why?
I would say an obvious one has to be "Life's Not Out to Get You," Neck Deep, because it was just like the time where I was at. Like I was getting more like into punk music opposed to like metal or heavier type of stuff at the time. So
Yeah.
like I was trying to get more of that, coupled with me already knowing like certain bands, like if you want to throw ADTR in the pop punk lane.
Yeah, they're like a good in between of they got some punk elements, but they got some fucking metal elements. And I was gonna say, I feel like they were a good segue into that was like your main shit until Neck Deep.
Yeah,
and then that changed you as a man.
Right, yeah, like it shifted me nonetheless, for sure. And it was like, with Life's Not Out to Get You, which I believe you, one way or another, put me on to Neck Deep. I think we've talked a little bit about that.
I would assume, because Dan put me onto them before, just before that album dropped.
Yeah.
Well, he got into them like a year before that with Rain in July, but I didn't get into them until like right before Life's Not Out to Get You dropped.
Okay.
And I liked like a part of me for like a year, but that was about it. It was basic bitch. But
Yeah.
then when that shit dropped, me and you were homies, and I probably told you about it. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
but
it was around the time of like, because they released the few singles first, so it was around that time.
Yeah,
like,
and those all fucked. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember getting real hyped on those.
and it was just like they said from their own mouths, which you would pick up on the feeling of the album is just like this uplifting optimism, more like it's not all like bad and gloom, and gloom, whatever.
Yeah,
which is important.
Yeah, I didn't write that album on mine because I went on influential as in shaping my music taste. Mm-hmm. But to talk about my overall life, that album paired with I think it's Empty Picture Frames by Real Friends.
Yeah.
Those two albums in tandem, fucking, when I was going through the thick of it and depression, they were very helpful. But like, Smooth Seas Don't Make Good Sailors was my shit when I was depressed as fuck to get me out of that slump.
Right.
That's why I got this shit tattooed too.
Hell yeah.
The whole meaning of the album.
Yeah, literally, like it's self-explanatory, and like it was just at that time, bro, coming out of like depression more so and shit like that. It was like what I needed, quote unquote.
I mean,
right
same,
place, right time.
But it was weird because I feel like, okay, this has been happening. Like my favorite album as of late that I always keep finding myself coming back to is "My Devil in Your Eyes" by the Color Morale. Mm-hmm. I knew like all the fucking lyrics of this album, just like I did for Life's Not Out to Get You for the longest time, but I didn't like know them, if you know what I mean. Like I knew the words, but not I wasn't taking into consideration the meaning.
Thinking deeper about it, yeah.
And that's what I kind of did with Neck Deep throughout high school until I was going through shit and I was like 19, and it was like,
there's some
profound
messages here, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be one for me. Let's see if there's any other points up here. Oh yeah, just like with them, bro, it was like they had tour vlogs back then. It was called like Neck Deep TV, like NDTV, opposed to like MTV or whatever. But it was like they styled it the same, and it was like literally, I believe their first times being over here. They were documenting it essentially, doing a little tour vlog, and like they were putting like music in between the clips, like montage-esque, that were like bands that they were influenced by, like Title Fight or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's like, it's putting me on to shit, like letting me know where they got their little angsty type of edge from and shit, and like, I don't know, just keeping up with them through those, and then leading up to seeing them with you was just like, that was crazy, like, yeah. So.
Yeah, bro, there definitely was, because you were like big ADTR everything. That was like the only band I feel like you really listened to like that for a while.
I mained them,
Yeah, and then like neck deep, and all of a sudden you just became the poster child for pop punk, khakis, and fucking
give
pizza,
me like a flannel and shit.
Yeah,
bro.
all that shit, fucking pullover hoodies and all that.
Dad cap, and we're
right.
living. Do you remember Jared Alonge on YouTube?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Because fucking you put me onto him with that Rilo Ken song.
Oh yeah.
And I listened to a few of like his albums and shit that he's got.
Because he
like,
had like
his solo shit, and then Sunrise, Skater Kids, and all that.
Right.
And my girlfriend, I made her a playlist of just random shit I think she might like, and she be blasting this shit all the time.
Yeah, Sunrise Skater Kids was like a play off of like Life's Not Out to Get You in a way, almost like an uplifting like what Life's Not Out to Get You like did for like, oh, we can make uplifting pop punk. It was like, okay, more and more bands started to do this.
And then he kind of was like,
this is a gimmick.
It became a cliche,
Yeah.
So he just kind of made fun of that because everybody was copying the big thing at the time.
But the thing was, is he wasn't a bad like songwriter.
No,
so
he really
then,
isn't though.
Boom, like it works. And then he had like, you know, like post-hardcore type of stuff.
Yeah, his actual like metal shit. Some of it making fun of like Bring Me the Horizon. Some of it making fun of like fucking Dot Curve and like, shit like that.
R.I.P. that man, bro. Like he didn't die.
I was gonna say he died. Wait, what? I didn't know.
But that creativity is just not there anymore. Last time I checked, he like transitioned into like a media type of company or something. Like he started his own type of media company.
Moved on to bigger and better things. But yeah, I mean. I always thought like if he were to make like serious music, like
they could go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. But yeah, so I guess what's your first fucking thing?
So I'm gonna start off with my first one is an honorable mention. I wouldn't consider it part of the list because I don't really listen to it anymore because I think it's kind of overplayed, cliche shit, and gonna get hate for it. But American Idiot.
Oh, okay.
That was my shit when I was like 5.
That's fair.
I don't know if I've told you the story, but I know I tell it all the time because it's hilarious that when I was in like K5, one of the teachers approached me and was talking about, like I got in trouble because I was wearing an American Idiot shirt and they were like, oh, it's inappropriate to have the word idiot on your shirt, and I had to wear it inside out, and I wasn't allowed to wear that shirt ever again at school, and I was like pissed because that was my shit at the time.
Right.
But that's just to say that like I was into like the alternative music scene as a youngin', but my first actual like thing on the list chronologically. Are you familiar with MSI, Mindless Self-Indulgence?
You've tried to tell me about them. That's as far as my knowledge goes.
So I got into them in like 2nd grade. The album If, but specifically the song 3 a.m., which
through who?
Through my brother Jesse.
Yeah.
He was listening to them, and I like overheard and got into it, and I remember I was showing some of my friends in 2nd grade this song, and he comes in and he's like, you should not be listening to this, and turned it off and shit. But the lyrics of 3 a.m., it's like, it's 3 a.m., she won't put out, let's go make out with her friends, make out with her friends' friends. Like, that's the fucking hook of the song.
What type of music? Is it rock or nah?
It's,
Is it like electronic?
It's kind of like electronic. It's kind of like, the best way to put MSI's music is they did a bunch of meth in that high, made some fucking wild ass music, but it is very influential on me because it taught me that, you know, from a young age, music doesn't have to be serious. It can be goofy, it can be weird, but still be good music.
That's important, bro.
Yeah, because there's so many motherfuckers like Ben Shapiro talking about, oh, music has to be this and this, and it's like, no, music can be whatever the fuck.
It's very open-ended.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it can be fun. It's just entertainment, if you will. Mm-hmm. So, learning that from a young age, you gotta fucking listen to MSI. I don't know if...
you said If?
If is the album, but the song 3 a.m. was like what I was bumming as a child.
Okay.
Fuck, I gotta tell you, fucking geek that story too, bro. So, one time I went on a Tinder date, right?
Okay.
Fucking... You know, we went out and it was like, first off, I was annoyed as fuck because we went to Qdoba and I fucking love Qdoba, and this bitch just got pork and rice, nothing else in her bowl, and I was just like, look, especially then, I was very basic and white and didn't it didn't have all the flavor palette I do now, which is still finite if you ask motherfuckers, but pork and rice, bitch.
do yourself a little better.
Yeah, right. But so then we were chilling and we were talking and we were kind of getting along. We were listening to music, right? Mm-hmm. And kind of like, oh, do you know this? And she was showing me some hardcore shit and all this other things.
Yeah.
And I put on "Faggot" by MSI. And she got so butthurt because the song was called Faggot. And she was like, oh, well, I'm bi. Fucking, do you think I'm a faggot? I was like, no, I'm bi. I'm a faggot. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? It's a word.
And then I see that, like, literally playing out, bro.
And then she got all butthurt, and I brought up the iDubbbz thing, and I said it, and she got super pissed. She was like, take me home now. And I was like, all right, whatever.
It let you know that, she wasn't a very tolerant individual.
Yeah. It's like, couldn't have fun.
Yeah.
But
that's very interesting, man, because it's like, I don't know. Like, that's the psyop, in my opinion.
The
right
psyop?
There. Yeah. Like,
wow, what?
Like, why is she, like, why are people that intolerant? It's not like she couldn't take the time to, like, be like, well, you don't actually, like, think those things are okay.
He's not even, like, saying that. I'm pretty sure he's referring to himself in that song. But, like...
And that's the thing. It's like, you have no idea about... It's just a song. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's just a word, too.
Yeah.
Fucking, I saw them live, too, and bro was wearing all pink. Halfway through the show, he's like, and in case you're wondering, he drops his pants. The underwear are pink, too.
You saw that shit?
Yeah, fucking...
Live, bro?
Yeah, I saw him live once. It was fucking awesome. Jimmy Urine, the lead singer, he's actually in, like, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What? For what? An extra?
He's, like, one of Yondu's, like... He's one of his main crew dudes type shit. So
what the fuck?
It's really weird. But
how'd he land that gig?
Jimmy Urine, bro. I don't fucking know. He did some voice acting shit for like some games back in the day, so maybe that.
He had to connect, yeah.
Yeah. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, so what's your number 2?
Number 2 is gonna be in the same vein because that's where my brain naturally took me, which is Take Off Your Pants and Jacket by Blink. And that's because, like, kind of going back to when I got introduced to pop punk, it was 2 people really that were like instrumental in that, which was E, you know who I mean, and motherfucking my sister, because my sister was like into A Day to Remember, Fall Out Boy, she liked like
the basics.
The basic, like
ones.
Even Blink, like they're like all the small things and stuff. So it's like that coupled with like E putting me on to like the self-titled album, it was like wow, like I looked at that stuff as more like, I guess at the time it was like modern current that my sister was getting me into, and then older, like I looked at Blink like, especially being younger, like vintage. You're like, oh, that's vintage right there. But like, obviously I've dug deeper now and shit. I know it's not quite that old, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna like dig deeper into Blink, okay, and then naturally I like went all the way back and listened to like Cheshire Cat and whatever, like Dude Ranch, but then Enema, and then it was really hard for a while between Enema and like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Which one is more like the perfect pop punk album, in my opinion?
Yeah, I mean the closing songs in Enema will always be like my shit, like Shut Up and Anthem or whatever the fuck. But Take Off Your Pants and Jacket as a whole is just,
it's like they got to like look at what they did on Enema and like even further perfect that. Yeah, like weed out what they didn't need or make more like cohesive, I guess you could say radio friendly type of songs and shit. Like, yeah, you could say it's more formulaic in a lot of ways, but at the same time, they kept like that young, like, Happy Holidays, You Bastards, or whatever the fuck that is. Like, yeah, they kept that.
Fucking, the 2, like, main singles, may not remember the story completely, because I learned it from YouTube channel Fact Fiend. The, like, 2 singles off that everybody knows, which is, First Date and,
The Rock Show?
Yeah, Rock Show. So they brought the album to the record label and they were like, there's no fucking radio singles on this.
Oh.
So then Tom and fucking Matt decided they were going to write a song each.
Okay.
To make like they wanted to make like the corniest fucking radio pop bullshit they could.
Yeah.
And each of them wrote one of the songs respectively.
Oh, okay.
And then they came back. Both the songs were written in a fucking day, and then it just shows you how good they were at fucking writing music. That they could just go and just make those fucking shit in a night, like one dude.
And like Tom even described it in like his Ernie Ball little documentary he had, which is super sick. Like at the time, it was like the way we were thinking about it was like nursery rhymes type of thing. Like how are we gonna make like nursery rhyme type songs that like are, I forget what he said, but basically going through like a pop punk filter. And I'm like, that's super interesting. And like he's like showing you on guitar how like it starts with this simple melody, blah blah blah, and like it just really is like a very cohesive album, very optimistic and fun. Like fun.
They clearly were just having a good time writing what they wanted to write.
Yeah, and like that's, and then you know I guess you could say, like, unless you like the self-titled Darker Blink more and you think that is, like, the pinnacle, then I would say that Takeoff is, like, pinnacle of Blink, or at least of Happy Blink. So, like, we'll give it that. And, like, yeah, so that's my number 2, bro. It just did a lot for me. It kept me, like, anytime, it's, like, one of those albums for me, like, anytime, like, you need that uplifting, like, these type of fucking frequencies that this album gives me is good.
Yeah, fucking my problem is because, as I said, that's why I want to start with the honorable mention of American Idiot, because I grew up with pop punk and shit. Like I was bumping. It's weird because there's all the singles Blink has, but like Feeling This, that was my shit when I was a kid. Like the self-title, like I barely listened to the full thing as a kid. Probably just the first couple songs, honestly. But
the first half is really weird with that album. The first half is way more like bigger. Yeah, it's way bigger, and like than the second half. I remember like even with E, bro, listening to that, it was like we would always listen to those first like 4 or 5, but then like the other ones, it was like rarely.
Yeah, that's how I was, and then when I got into like fucking Wicca Phase Springs Eternal, because fucking what the fuck, Dan used to always make the joke that Wicca sounds like a mix of fucking Tom DeLonge and Robert Smith of The Cure. Then I realized it's funny, and then I'd go back and I'd listen to, because on that album they have a song with Robert Smith.
Oh yeah, I forget that they did that.
Yeah, and that song's good as fuck. I fucks with it, but I don't really go out of my way to listen to Blink that much, because it's just I know it's overplayed. It's too familiar.
It's part of your programming at this point. Yeah, like and I feel that way too with like certain Blink shit. Is like it is instilled in me, like to a point where I'm not always looking for it anymore. But like
half the time I skip it because it's like it's too. It's not exciting. It's kind of lost that freshness, but I still love and appreciate it for what it is and what it did for me.
Agreed. It's something you already know, you're familiar with and shit. Yeah. And then I guess just to tail end of that point is like they had certain songs that were like Dan mentioned this in his episode, like Man Overboard and like Not Now, I think. No, Not Now was off the self-titled, but there was like a couple other ones that were like they did, because the Takeoff is the 3 lights, right?
Yeah.
So then they did like a triple disc release, each of them with like a B-side record.
Oh, okay.
Which
I didn't
know
that. That's dope.
Yeah, which is like kind of crazy, and like I don't know. I just thought like that was like a really interesting aspect, like just for me as a fan. I was like, oh, like those who know.
Gotta be the know to know,
Yeah.
Fucking. That reminds me, did you ever hear the Neck Deep song? They released like a single.
Was it a Blink cover?
No, but the album art looks like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, because the song sounds like it could be off that fucking album. They totally like, I don't know if they...
I think it is. I think it's a cover, bro.
Dude, I'm almost positive it's not a fucking cover.
It's Don't Tell Me That It's Over. Is that the one?
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's Blink.
Is it?
That's one of
the B-sides? That's why I don't know it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a deep cut. Yeah. It's crazy. Because I remember them doing that, and I was like, shout out them for knowing that deep cut.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought they wrote a song, and they were like, this sounds a lot like fucking Blink. Let's hit them up, see if they're cool with us using similar album art shit.
Yeah,
I gotta find them B-sides and bump that shit down. What the fuck? It's like, because I love that song.
It's like some new shit for you.
Right.
That's crazy.
It'll have that excitement and still be off of that golden ass album. So fuck.
Yeah, I played the fuck out of like that whole thing just a lot, bro. Like
yeah, and then I'll be
great.
listening to my shit on shuffle, and one of the songs come on, and my girl will be pissed that I skip it. It's like, bro, I can't. I did it too much.
Right, I feel it. Okay, number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me. So, 3rd grade, bro. Finally, you know, this is the thing that got me into metal. Dan was listening to, I overheard him listen to it off, like, fucking probably, I don't remember the fucking name of the channel he used to always watch. I think it was VHS or some shit.
VH1.
VH1, that's what it fucking, I was like, it's not VHS. Yeah, that's VH1. But Escape the Fate, The Flood, and then the album This War Is Ours, that is, like, what got me into metal. Like, before that, it was just punk, like...
What is the album cover for The Flood?
The Flood is off of This War Is Ours.
Okay.
And the album art I remember, it was... it's not the one on Spotify. They used the deluxe art on Spotify, but the original one was like a fucking big mummy woman type shit, and then under it, it's like the 4 of their heads or whatever.
Okay.
Kind of mummified and shit.
Because I listened to them a bit. I know that they had like different eras, right?
Yeah.
Like where there's different singers, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they dropped like an EP, and then they dropped an album that had a few of the EP songs off it, but whatever, with Ronnie. And then he went to jail, and then Craig Mabbitt from Bless the Fall came in, and they've had
he did a
him
good
since.
job. Like,
yeah,
he killed it.
I fucks with it. And then the next album's kind of like all the albums after This War Is Ours. They got like a couple good ass songs, and all the rest are just kind of
pretty mid.
Yeah, I don't go out of my way to listen to them, but like I still respect them for what they are, and like Craig Mabbitt.
Bro, what is that song with? No, not song. That album that they did with Ronnie.
What the fuck is it called?
You know,
bro?
the emo ass fucking album.
Yeah,
bro.
it was. Yeah, because Situations blew the fuck up, obviously, and not good enough for Truth and Cliche.
Not
I can't think of it.
enough. Yeah, that song. Like
that song
album.
was
I go out. Like I've actually gone out of my way in the past like couple of years to like listen to that album. So like
Yeah, I grew up listening to that. That album's a banger, bro.
Yeah, that's honorable mention for me because I didn't put it. But like, fuck, I walked home so many days listening to that fucking album, bro. Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, same. And then when Ronnie got out of jail and Foreign Falling in Reverse, bro.
And that shit goes
The
hard.
Drug in Me Is You. I was always listening to that on my walk home from
What's
school.
the one where he's sitting on a skyscraper or like on a window ledge or something?
That's their second album. What
I
the
listened to that
fuck
one a lot.
Fashionably Late. That's
Fashionably Late.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's like there's so much different vibes on there.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, going back, I appreciate that album so much. But like, when it dropped, I was in the, I wanted more of what I knew Ronnie as.
Yeah.
Not
what he's now.
What he became, and
Yeah.
just kind of. But now looking back, I'm like, damn, this man was ahead of his time, and he was just having a good time with
That's
music
how
and
I
shit.
looked at him too, like ahead of his time, bro. And like I watched I don't know if he does YouTube, but I saw him on YouTube.
He like Twitch streams all the fucking time nowadays and shit.
And he was like ranting about that, like the kind of like when pop punk blew up in like 2018 to 2020 a little bit. There was that kind of, I would call it artificial boom or whatever. And he was like, bro, all these like rapper rocker motherfuckers, like I did that shit.
Yeah, bro.
10 years ago and shit.
Yeah,
like,
everybody was hating on Alone, and that kind of put me off from listening to the whole album. Despite there's a lot of like bangers on that, and I like Alone now going back to it. And
is that like his solo work?
that was that single off of Fashionably Late. That's like rap and rock type shit.
Oh, okay. I don't have like the songs memorized. I just like I remember.
I just remember that single. I don't remember the other songs off that album like that.
Fair enough.
But
banger though.
Banger. But back to like This War Is Ours too.
Yes, sir.
Because Escape the Fate, they kind of got like a modern fucking. They almost got like a Motley Crue-esque vibe just in their aesthetic and the way they kind of act with shit. So, that album, it's got that more rock kind of shit, not as metal. And then there's the song This War Is Ours, the Guillotine Part 2.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the song and how heavy the guillotines fucking are?
I've listened to it. I can't recall it though.
It's just randomly like fucking super heavy out of fucking nowhere, like
noise and shit, like
I don't even think there might be like a little bit of cleans, but for the most part the song's all screams,
Okay, right.
which is very out of the norm for them, and hits you out of nowhere. And I, hated that song at first when I was young, and then it grew on me, and then eventually I just downloaded a bunch of random shit off of Dan's iTunes, like Attila and shit. I was like, oh, this album is cool, and that's cool. And
man, they're a band too.
Attila fucks, but
damn.
Yeah, downloading random shit off of Dan's iTunes gets me into my next 2. So what's your number 3?
Number 3, a little bit of a.
I'm gonna grab Rockstar while you.
A little bit of an oddball, but it's called Beats, Rhymes, and Life by A Tribe Called Quest, and I picked that one because in the last, I would say, like 3 years being out of like school, pandemic hitting, blah blah blah. Like,
so this is a recent one, Tribe Called Quest. I would have thought you liked it before you got into punk and all that shit, honestly.
Nah, cause like I didn't listen to like conscious, I guess what you would call like conscious rap or like even old school rap or any of that until after I'd already gotten into punk and metal and shit. So like that.
What did you listen to before that? Because I feel like
it was like modern radio rap or whatever you would want to consider
hip hop or whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck.
Just like I guess like Drake and Lil Wayne and that atypical type of like you hear it on the like YouTube and the radio and your friends play it around you and then you listen to it.
So you weren't really that big into like rap and shit until, well, you weren't really that big into rap. You got into punk and shit, and that's what got you more into music as a whole.
Period. Yeah. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Fun fact. And then
fun fact.
And then fucking it was like about after the pop punk phase that we were describing earlier. It was like once I got enough of that, it was like I've explained this before to you a little bit, but like I ventured back into modern rap music, didn't really fuck with it, started looking for like conscious rap, which was like J. Cole, Kendrick, the bigger names. Involved with that was like Logic, and I became like a super big fan of Logic for no reason. Like I just thought his older like mixtapes were really like
the Young Sinatra's all
like they were a return to like an older sound, which I guess it really appealed to me over what was currently.
You listen to Young Sinatra 4?
No, but I've been meaning to because like that that used to be my boy right there, so I gotta hear it. But I got into him and then those guys, the more conscious modern stuff, and then Logic always was like very expressive of his influences, and A Tribe was like a big one, so naturally I go back, like listen to it. Around the time I got like familiar with all of Logic's work, I started delving into Joey Badass and shit. Like Joey Badass is clearly inspired by like A Tribe Called Quest, but also like all the New York rappers. Like his sound's a culmination of like all
very very New York.
Yeah, like
he fucks up.
Yeah,
good ass
like,
rapper, bro.
Dope shit. And then long story short, bro, I started looking more into old school rap, like basically around the time of the pandemic and shit, and then I'm like, all right, boom, like Tribe Called Quest has like 3 banger albums in a row. Beats, Rhymes, and Life is like, I believe it's their 4th album, and like it's a little bit divergent from the prior ones because it's darker in tone. It's darker, but the beats are still as like cohesive and flow really nicely as ever.
Dude, honestly, that's one. Do you mean like from song to song, or do you? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because I was gonna say that's one thing I don't know. I'm an album guy, and I dislike that about this new like singles culture because everyone's got so fucking short attention spans. There's not that cohesion. And all that shit.
Throughout the album,
which is a big part of my next fucking pick, but like.
So it had that, like, and that's like their other work. Like, they kept the cohesiveness, but they brought a darker tone to it, darker samples, darker production, all while, like
the vibe was just darker. It's all...
Yeah, and they cover, like, a wide range of, like, topics from, like, like women, crime, just like kind of, I don't know what you call it, like observant type of stuff, where it's just like they're observations, like street level observations that they're either making up or that they really observed. I don't fucking know, but like it kind of puts you there. It really paints a vivid picture for you, and it's like it let me know where a lot of influence came from the more modern artists that I was listening to, you know? And like that made me go deeper into like people that they've worked with, blah blah blah. Like obviously they weren't the originators, but like they did a lot of originating, I guess I would call it. They were a dope group, and I think they were like the first collective rap group to like get like number like top 200 hits and shit like that.
What about NWA? Weren't they before then? Or were they after? I don't actually know.
I don't know either, but I know Tribe was doing it in like the late 80s, and I think NWA is more of like a 90s thing.
Are they? I thought they started in the early 80s. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It could be the late 80s, bro, too, because that's when all that rap shit was popping off, from what I know, was the late 80s.
Because I just remember, like, I watched like Straight Outta Compton forever the fuck ago, and kind of talking about how they made, like, I know they made like gangster rap popular, but then there was rappers before them, like NWA, Run DMC, all that kind of.
Yeah, and there's like two, I guess, like distinctions that separate like those groups from each other. Like Tribe is more like heady, more conscious type, where like and like spiritual as well. Where like NWA, you know what they're about.
But that's why I feel like it would make sense if Tribe was after NWA, just because like you kind of got to get that big radio appeal shit to kind of get a rap album that's heady.
I think from my studies, I guess you could call it, they're not, you know, I don't do too much research, but like just from what I've come to know, like it seems to me that it was more like cornier rap at first.
But
then like groups like NWA.
That's what I hear too. It was kind of corny, and then NWA came around, and then I also
they broke the doors down.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I think something like Tribe Called Quest might have been after, but maybe I'm fucking wrong.
I think they were like,
if they were making it on the Billboard, is what I mean. If they might have been doing this shit before.
Exactly. Like they were doing it before, but then they like started to lean into that direction. I feel like once they got like mainstream success, they started talking more about like a little bit about guns, violence, and crime, but they were never advocating for it, just kind of mentioning more like observing it going on, which is like interesting that they're not directly advocating for it.
See, I don't think a lot of rappers are really advocating for it. I mean, maybe, but it's more so they're talking about their life and experiences and shit, and it has the shit going on, but that doesn't mean they're advocating for it.
But look, what I mean by that is like Tribe will not try to promote it, or like they'll try to promote it.
Make sure not to glamorize it at all.
Like they'll be like basically like we gotta stop killing each other type of thing. But like NWA is more like get the gun and kill who you gotta kill, and it's like, you know, I don't know who the fuck was first, but, you know, East Coast, West Coast, violent, spiritual. It's just like I lean more towards that, and like that boom bap shit does more for me than like whatever the synthy West Coast type of stuff is that they got going on. It's more like some of those beats go hard. It's good music, but like East Coast just
I completely agree with that.
It grabs me more. Something about it's more compelling, bro. But number 3 for you, bro? You got one?
Number 3 for me. Yeah, so I was talking about downloading random shit off of Dan's iTunes, and I was also talking about album Cohesion we were just talking about.
Right.
So my next one was The Emptiness by Alisana.
I knew that was going to be on there.
Yeah, you fucking...
Gotta be.
Yeah, multiple reasons. So, I mean, one of the reasons I downloaded them, too, is, like, Dan had this DVD when we were kids that he got from my grandma. She just got him a random fucking thing from shit. And he talks about how that's influenced his music taste so much. But one of the songs on it, because it was just like a compilation of music videos, was Ambrosia by Alisana.
Yes, sir.
So I was like familiar with them and downloaded The Emptiness. And that's starting, I'm here to tell you a story that'll torture your thoughts by day and poison your dreams by night. That shit was just like... Listen to that and like my headphones was like, ooh, what the fuck am I listening?
It's like an audio movie.
And then like, holy fuck, that shit just even
iconic.
Even imitating it's giving me chills right now. Just the impact that shit had on me. And then I got really into them, and they also, you know, helped instill PMA. They always preaching positive mental attitude shit. Yeah. But they also, you know, I'm a fucking big old Star Wars nerd, all that shit. They made me feel like it was all right to be a fucking nerd, and like that wasn't lame, because they were very nerdy, fucking writing poetry, like, because The Emptiness is based off of a few poems, one of the main ones being Annabelle Lee, I forget who it's written by, and then like Place of the Sun of Silence, Dante's Inferno. I think we covered that in the first episode we made. But just that storytelling shit, nerdiness, and just as a whole, like that, it got me that love for cohesive albums, because it's an entire story throughout the album, and
Right.
a poetry, fucking, it's a rock opera or whatever the fuck, if you will. And that shit made me fall in love with, like, I love when when songs lead into each other perfectly, and the whole album's just, you know, it's weird just listening to a single song off The Emptiness. It's like if one comes on and shuffle, it's like, all right, well, now I gotta listen to the rest of the album from there on. It's like,
I know what you mean.
And
where the whole album needs to be played.
Yeah, it exists as a whole, and I got to see them play that shit all the way through live, and that was fucking gas.
What year?
Fucking for the 10-year or whatever. And also, I'm pissed. I missed it. I wanted to see A Place with Sun of Silence, but I was broke as shit. And rip, because like that album's lived up the best, but like in terms of influence, The Emptiness, bro. And then that became, you know, my favorite fucking band. I'm sure you knew that.
I would have guessed they were top 3 for sure.
Yeah, like
I would say I mean you probably got them later coming up.
One of them I assume you'll name, but like yeah, in middle school, bro, them, Our Last Night, and like DGD, like those are my fucking top 3. Like I wouldn't shut the fuck up about. I swear. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else really to say on The Emptiness? It's a banger album, but...
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
For me, I liked that album when you put me onto it, because it was like you said, it was the combination of like poetry and like really, like for me at the time, like I guess you would say like dark type of like visuals, or like...
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. More like gothic or whatever. Like, I don't know if that's even a proper description, but like being young, that's how I look at it. Like, I'm like, oh, this is like really kind of dark.
Dark and kind of edgy type shit.
Yeah, and like they had their own vibe to them that was unique, that you couldn't put on anybody else. Nobody else was like Alisana.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And dude, it's sad too, because like during the fucking like scene boom, they were pretty big, but nowadays, man, like, because before I saw them play The Emptiness, which is in a decent sized venue, but like I saw them play the album before that on Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax, and that show, dude, they played like some bar. It was like a tiny ass scene. It was like, damn, bro, these are like my icons. I mean, me and Dan had talked about it, and he was like explaining how it's because they didn't really have like a rock star to them, if you will.
Yeah.
And that totally influenced the sticking power of a band. And, I mean, as a kid, I looked up to fucking Sean and fucking Dennis to a lesser extent. No offense, Dennis, if you're watching this. But Sean, like, I looked up to him, and I thought he was a rock star, but not many other motherfuckers saw it like that. So
yeah. And that, like the star power is a big thing, because that's like, you know, after, like, 1995 or whatever, like it became like every band is like, they don't have the star power really. Like it's really hard to have. Like I guess you could say Green Day is an exception, but they started earlier than 95. Fucking, I don't know. There's certain exceptions to the rule.
There's always going to be exceptions to the rule, but
even comparatively, like the star power of say like
talk about like Colin Quinn, fucking he's got star power type shit.
Or like even somebody super big like
Travis Scott. I don't fucking know.
It's different, because that's like, I would consider that like almost like a pop star, because like.
Well, but he's still got that rock star kind of energy in a sense of.
But I was saying like in rock music, like there hasn't been like somebody with the impact of like a Kurt Cobain since Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of because rock as a whole seemed to be dying. And we
we
were talking about Ronnie Radke earlier. he's got that kind of shit, and he was a very controversial figure, always talking shit because he don't care. He'll speak his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And
that's true. Like, he had star power.
He still does. Like, I follow him on, like, fucking X, and he be posting just, fans will be talking shit, and he'll just call them on all their bullshit. He is relentless, and then he'll also just post goofy shit and whatever. Like, he's got that, but he doesn't have that mainstream eye on him.
Right.
So
that's fair.
I don't know if he's missing something to get that, or it's just because of his past. I don't. And it may also just be because rock as a whole is kind of whatever.
Right.
But
yeah, it's probably declining, but everything will.
Yeah, and then MGK, he made that generic ass album, which,
hey,
talk shit about it as you want, but it brought eyes back to fucking the rock world, and
he saved.
Like
rock
him or
and
not,
roll.
he has that fucking star power, like, but then the fucking it's not real shit. It's like, okay. But it's bringing new eyes to it. Stop being a dick, please.
Yeah, it's true that overall it could be a benefit or it is a benefit for rock music. But the thing that's weird to me, like, I thought about it like this one time, like, okay, when the core of like rock fans don't respect the guy that's doing the most, like, arguably doing the most for rock in like a way of attracting new people into it, like, that just creates a weird thing in the scene when, like, basically real rock fans will boo off the guy that's at the face of rock. Like, I don't know. And that has happened. Like, I used to jokingly put together, like, clips and send them to certain, like, friends and shit of, like, MGK getting shit thrown at him on stage and shit. Because I was a hater. I mean, I still kind of am. Like, I don't hate, but, like, I just don't support. That's kind of my.
Well, why don't you support?
Because I don't like it. Like, it feels too contrived, made up, fabricated, fake.
Okay, I agree. But for what it's doing for the scene, you can't deny its benefit. Just because
I
it's
agree.
generic fucking, AI-generated pop punk, if you will, it's still, like, bringing new eyes, which will inspire kids to fucking make bands or be artists like that, to make new cool shit.
Agreed.
You'll have that generic ass shit, and then you'll get the next fucking Neck Deep type band.
Right. No, and I think that's probably, like, actively happening already right now for the last 4 years. Is like, kids are probably making. I mean, I've seen it, a couple bands that, like, make kick-ass pop punk music, and it's like, that's dope. It's just like.
But I feel like because of the gatekeepers, it's kind of been pushed away, and I feel like I haven't heard shit about it as of late.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like, okay, if it is gonna create more, like, of a wave in that scene, but, like, I guess it just matters what you pay attention to, because people, like, for me, I guess I want to say, like, I don't give a fuck who is at the top of the chart, really, but, like, other people will be like, I don't want to support him because he's at the top of the chart. For me, it's like, I don't want to support him because I don't like the music. Like,
see, I want to support him not because I support necessarily him. I support the scene.
Yeah.
I like that kind of music, and I want it to grow, and I want more people to be into it so that I can, we can get more music to listen to. So
I don't advocate for, like, get rid of him, but I advocate for just let him do his thing.
Yeah, let him do his thing. I hope he inspires more motherfuckers to make better music than he does.
Yeah.
At least in my personal taste.
But I really feel like, okay, if you want to call him an industry plant or anything like that, I feel like then that is what he, like, his planted purpose is to, like, give a little life to rock.
And is that a bad thing?
Right.
Motherfuckers
right.
are like, oh, rock's dying and all this shit. It's like,
he gave a little life to it.
yeah, and then y'all are like, no, turn this.
Well, like I said, they're throwing bottles at him and
Yeah.
shit. It's like, yeah, I don't know. And I get it, bro. Like, he's up there with the pink guitar, with the fucking dyed, bleached hair.
But again, he's got that rock star power because he's not the fucking run-of-the-mill, fucking stereotypical hardcore band where they all look the fucking same and shit.
They look like Saturnian agents in all black, bro.
The fuck is Saturnian? What the fuck
like,
that?
worshippers of Saturn, bro. Like
black,
like the black cube of Saturn. Like it's just this idea that like all like wearing all black gives you this like vibe, this dark vibe and shit. And it's like it does. Like I do it too, but it's like I don't even know if it's consciously, but people in the bands probably do it consciously to like.
Yeah, they try to get like that unity cohesion thing, but it's like
dark, bro.
Yeah.
But it's corny. I get what you mean, and like, pop punk did need that. I guess you could say like they needed that like return to
form, honestly.
Yeah, return to form. Where like let's make some uplifting shit again because it's been, Neck Deep couldn't do it alone and shit, like being the forerunner of like positive pop punk. But like, I guess it was that's only 3 years later that MGK came out. That's so crazy. From like Life's Not Out to Get You to MGK blowing up.
That's 3 years. What?
15 to 18.
Well, been 18. I swear it was like.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That was like when we graduated. Him and that Youngblood fucker.
Yeah.
That I'm pretty sure that all popped off. Like.
I forgot about Youngblood. He's got a few good songs too, and like
I never really listened to.
He's got a few good songs, but like the song he's got with Bring Me the Horizon, that song fucks real hard. Definitely recommend.
They're another band that like
they just do whatever the fuck, and they
like they just do crazy stuff and like.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of music, they don't give a shit. They just kind of make whatever they want to make. And I feel like Ali.
It's also I feel like too. Me and my dad talked about this when we hear him on the radio now, and like I'm like, dude, these guys used to like shred their fucking shit.
Yeah,
off.
It used to be a deathcore band.
Yeah, and like, he puts it this way, and this is like now how I look at it. Like they realize they can do a whole lot less and make a whole lot more money.
I don't even think it's that. I just think as you grow, your taste fucking change, and they just kind of decided we're gonna make what we want to fucking make, and the fans have stuck with them through it because. Good music is music you're passionate about making.
Right.
And that you put your whole heart into, and I feel like they do that. Even though I don't really fuck with everything they make, they still... they make bangers here and there.
They found a pop sensibility for sure. And like, figured out, like... I guess that's a different way of saying, like, what I said before. It's like...
But they still make fucking rock heaters and metal and shit, like, here and there. And, I don't know. They're just vibing, but...
Probably like one of the biggest bands to come out of that era.
Yeah, and it's weird because I feel like during that era, Ali Sykes had that rock energy. Everyone like he was a big fucking personality.
Yeah.
And now I feel like not as much. You don't really hear motherfuckers talking about Ali Sykes, but you hear motherfuckers talking about Bring Me the Horizon as a whole. But I mean, that's just testament to how good their fucking music is.
Bro, it's honestly crazy for like at least the depiction of how they lived. That like they're not dead. Like,
what you mean?
They like just like living life like hard, like those death metal folks were back then, like drugs, alcohol, party every day, live hard, die fucking young. Like they made it out of that motherfucker. I don't know how they did.
I didn't really get that vibe from them all that much, but to be honest, fucking might not be a real metal fan, but like anything before fucking Suicide Season, I'm just like, this just sounds like it was recorded on a fucking shitty ass fucking radio or some shit. I don't even know, a cassette.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that was the vibe for those like UK or Australian, whatever.
No, like that kind of shit is like, okay, I love the Misfits fucking songs that sound like they're recorded like shit, but something about when it's like screams and all that.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It sounds even more just it's not for me, but I get the appeal.
Yeah, it's a different level of like distorted almost. Like it's super distorted. But yeah, bro. Anything else?
No,
I didn't make any more albums on my list, but I can think of some if you want me to.
Well, I'm curious now. What was like the first metal band you really got into then? Because I know you got super into fucking Day to Remember.
Asking, bro.
Asking?
Because fucking...
Because you went to that show.
Taylor took me. And fucking, motherfucking, I didn't know shit, but then...
You still talk to her though, ever?
Nah, but she's living in like North Carolina or some shit.
Oh, that
like, moved away and shit.
It's beautiful as fuck out there. Me and my family went out there, got like a cabin in the mountains.
Going out there, and I'm like, why? Like, I guess
it's cheap as shit, dude. Mm-hmm. To live out there too, it's like cheap as fuck. Like there's damn near no tax.
And shit? Okay.
Yeah, super affordable shit, and
good people.
There's like barely no property tax, and I mean we were out literally like a cabin up a fucking mountain, damn near nobody. But I mean the city we went to like do shit. Yeah, there's friendly folks type shit.
Yeah, like that's what I hear is like. Oh, the people just are different down there. Like.
Yeah, that's why like me and Allie want to move to like Tennessee or some shit because of similar shit like that. Just
different hospitality.
Yeah, and it's really like it's way cheaper to live out there. I'm pretty sure they have like some of the cheapest property taxes in America, if I'm not mistaken. Damn. And like I want to get a big plot of land, to shoot on, and then also because when I have kiddos, I would like to be able to get like an ATV or fucking dirt bike or some shit. Because I would have loved that as a fucking kid, so...
Yeah, you want to give them the life you didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel that. So, yeah, them, and it was, like, obviously... What is that? Is the album called Stand Up and Scream?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, that album... Cause I was just listening to that album the other day, and I was like, it's crazy to think how big that was, because that album's kind of fucking heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Like... I love, too, that era of just random synth fucking shit.
Danny, like... fucked up he shredded his vocal cords or whatever, and that's why like sonically there's a huge dip after that. Like he still went hard on that album after that. I forget what that one's called. Like it had like
something reckless, some shit like that.
Yeah, reckless and relentless.
Something like that. I was listening to like Dan put that album on. And I was like, oh, this fucked. I don't know why I never got into this album.
The second.
I was like, I need to listen to more because I never really did, and I never did after that.
Yeah.
I listened to like their first shit, and then the one album they did without Danny.
Yeah.
Where they had the dude from Make Me Famous, the Black. Have you listened to anything off that?
No, but I remember them doing that shit.
Like the first few couple songs are fucking like bangers. Like the title track, The Black, really good fucking song. Big recommend.
Is it different than Asking overall, or does it still like, oh, this is fucking Asking? And
it's different. Okay. But in a good way.
Yeah.
And
it's like a rebrand in a way.
Yeah, in a sense. And I wish they would have kept dude because I think he was really good. But like I understand, going back to the original lineup or whatever. I don't actually know any of the other members but Danny if they have original lineup. But
yeah, me either by name. I just know like I used to like once I got pushed into the idea of guitar. I like studied their one guitarist a lot. Like there's two of them, but I studied one. I forget dude's name, but. Like,
how do you study a motherfucking forget his name?
I know, right? Well, it's more like looking up every live performance you can, and then just like looking at the guy, but you don't know him.
Looking at the guy,
like you might look it up once or twice, but
he be shredding though.
Like that shit got me into. Like, you put me onto certain stuff too. I can't exactly remember bands that you got me into, but like. I remember having a hard time understanding genres where you understood them more, I feel like.
This is like as I was getting into it, my fucking nerd brain wanted to research every little thing. And
yeah, you're like, oh, there's a genre name for this.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, and I didn't get that.
I was one of those elitist dicks of, oh, it's not metal, it's fucking post-hardcore. I was one of those fucking...
And you know me, I didn't know it and I didn't get it. Like, I was like, oh, this is like... heavier than that, but this is less heavy than that. But they throw
I don't know if Finn McKenty coined the term, but I definitely identify as a core kid, as he calls it. Because I was always this core, that core.
It's like that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, infinite cores, bro. And,
swear to God.
And it was a time to be alive, and fucking that got me just looking up. Like I remember, so basically the big one, Beartooth, you put me on to. I remember telling you that. Like, yeah. That kind of got me.
Their first EP fucking slapped.
Like, what genre was that?
I'm pretty sure they're just like post-hardcore.
Yeah, so...
Caleb Shomo knows what the fuck he's doing in terms of writing. So does Johnny Frank. And that's one of my other favorite artists these days. He's doing Bill Murray now. Got the vinyl behind you. His shit fucks real hard.
I know that was bro. I didn't look at it hard enough.
Yeah, Johnny Frank. Him and Caleb Shomo were in Attack together, kicked off the whole crabcore scene with Stick Stickly.
Yeah, let's become fucking crabs, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So And then, like, I guess, so Beartooth, like, I got really into Parkway Drive. I don't know if you ever listened to them, but, like...
I listened to, like, a few songs, and I thought they were kind of...
Mid?
Yeah, I thought they were kind of generic. Maybe I didn't listen to the right songs.
I thought they were cool because, like, okay, I come to find out when I got into them that they, like, had been doing it for a minute. They had shit from, like, 2009 and shit, like, pretty old, you know, where they were making, like, real heavy stuff. Which it's like so heavy to a point where it's kind of like not that enjoyable for me. But like by the time we were in middle school and shit, they were finding like their place in like the kind of like you were saying the kind of metalcore scene and shit.
Yeah.
So I like that, and I like that they were Australian and everything. Like they had this like kind of like almost like Viking type of vibe to them, even though that's not Australian.
If you want to speak about good ass Australian bands, bro, Northland and In Heart's Wake, those are my shit back in the day.
You put me onto them quite a bit. I listened to both of them, but more Northland because like I thought the guitar work was so interesting.
Yeah, dude, Northland, they fucking
like so like that was like my first time hearing like real low ass like drop A tunings and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know shit about tunings, but
just like super low, like bam, bam,
yeah.
bam.
I'm pretty sure Dan said they like damn near the whole band has like a degree in like music theory and shit, and they're just fucking I don't know
wizards, bro.
They are fucking wizards. I swear to God.
It's
and
like that.
I mean,
Sorry,
I'm not.
exactly.
No, that was my bad. I'm not as big a fan of them after fucking Adrian left, but
he had like long
I still
hair.
appreciate the shit. I don't know. He was the front man for like fucking Singularity and shit.
Okay.
And that album fucks. And then they had like a fan contest to get
a vocalist.
Yeah, to replace the vocalist.
Wow.
And it's crazy. One of Dan's friends, I think it was his friend. I mean, he was part of the Milwaukee scene. He was the vocalist for I believe of Glaciers. If you've heard of them,
I've heard of that.
They were a pretty big band in the scene. He was like runner-up, lost to dude who fucking did win it, and the dude who won it, he because they were like, oh, do a cover of Quantum Flux or fucking Dream Awake, and dude did a cover of Singularity, like the song.
Oh, okay.
And are you familiar with the song Singularity, where it's just like the fucking instrumental and like the talking shit? There's no actual like singing, but he did some kind of like fucking vocal melody over the fucking instrumental or some shit like that. And
did they like it?
Yeah, clearly. I think that's one of the main reasons he won the fucking thing. But I thought that was really cool. They were like, oh yeah, fucking fan competition to be the new vocalist instead of doing it behind closed doors with people already in the scene.
Right. No, that is definitely like some genuine shit right there.
Right.
I like that. I've heard of other bands like I can't recall who, but like doing similar type of stuff if it's for a guitarist or whoever. But like usually it does go that way where it's like, oh yeah, there's this really good vocalist from fucking this band. Let's just steal him and shit. Yeah.
So, fucking, did you know fucking Kellen Quinn tried out for DGD and was possibly going to be the vocalist until they got Tillian instead, because they went on tour with Tillian and they were like, you should just be in the band. But there's like, you can find online like his tryouts or some shit that exist somewhere, rough demos of Kellen Quinn singing. I think it was Uneasy Hearts probably.
Wow,
but
bro, what?
Yeah, speaking of Uneasy Hearts, that's my number 4, and fucking that album I got into DGD because, as I said, I'd go through Dan's iTunes occasionally and just be like, oh, that album art looks cool or some shit. Their self-titled album has the Death Star made out of houses. Being the Star Wars nerd I was like, all right, we're getting that on my iPod, bro. Yeah. And I fell in love, and especially with Downtown Battle Mountain 2 was my shit. And then when Acceptance Speech dropped, my whole life was like, whew, and DGD's been my favorite band since.
It was flipped upside down, bro.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, maybe with DGD, maybe with anything, like, because for DGD with me, bro, it was like, I never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it was like that for you?
Yeah, that was exactly. I mean, I'd heard some shit from, like, The Fall of Troy, and they sound kind of similar, but, like, they're a little rougher with it, and especially once they got, like, Tillian, but even with, like, Johnny Craig and Kurt Travis, I feel like just the vocals, the duality of, because John's screams are not as rough as, I don't know the dude from Fall of Troy's name, but his screams are kind of very brash.
Yeah.
And like John's can be, but they complement the cleans a lot better than I feel like Fall Troy Screams do.
That's fair. They do it in a different way.
Yeah. And then fucking Will Swan and Matt Mingus killing it with the instrumentals and shit.
Right, like that's the thing, like okay, they got
And R.I.P. Tim Frederick. I don't know if you heard about dude passing.
No.
Bass player Tim Frederick, he passed
Really?
away. Yeah.
Damn.
I think it was about a year ago or so now, but yeah.
And I assume they found new guy?
I would assume by now,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah,
Wow.
it was
Okay, but yeah, so it's like that odd case scenario where like you get a lot of the right pieces and they all come together. Like that's really hard to get, bro. Like
Yeah.
where I know they've like they've probably had, you know, lineup changes. I know.
Oh, they've had plenty of fucking lineup changes.
Yeah, but it's like when you whatever you would consider like your version of like DGD, like I would say.
Well, the core of it is always like Will Swan and Matt Mingus.
Yeah.
As long as those two fuckers are in there, it'll always be DGD at the end of the day. Especially Will Swan. I mean, Swan Core is named after him.
Right, and yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the subgenre they damn near like created. Well, not damn near, they did.
He like okay, so when you put I guess at least those two central pieces together, it really like can do fucking wonders, bro. Like they just like they at the very least were always able to keep people around them that could facilitate the vision or like accompany them to fulfill the vision and shit, which is like really crazy from album to album. Like it's different each one, but like there's still a cohesion which like kind of makes no sense at the same time.
Yeah, because like especially when they got, you know, fucking two albums with Johnny, then 2 albums with Kurt, then another album with Johnny, and then they got a bunch with Tillian after that, and it's like, you know,
it's arcs, bro.
Yeah, it's weird because they feel different, but at the core they're still the same.
Yeah, like arcs of a story, but it's all one story, bro.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's like, yeah, bro.
And again, it's another example of like how we've been saying, like, or I've been saying rather, like, there just ain't shit like that, really.
And I mean, they've spawned other bands that, you know, I consider Swancore. I don't know if they ate Fun Term Offense or whatever, but like Hail the Sun. I don't know if Hail the Sun was around before them or what. You listen to Hail the Sun at all?
No.
That album, Wake by them, is a fucking masterpiece all the way through.
Is it DGD like?
Yeah.
Alright.
Fucking... Yeah, they've inspired a lot of shit. And then there's another band, Stole Us. So on like their first album, they pretty much have a song with like all the singers from DGD, all the fucking dudes from A Lot Like Birds, like all the Swancore bands. A Lot Like Birds is another Swancore fucking band because Kurt Travis left, and then he made A Lot Like Birds, and A Lot Like Birds fucks. No Place is... I want to get a tattoo, something of No Place. That album's good as hell too.
Like just the words?
No, like the house and some of the weird fucking
yeah.
art. I don't know if you listen to the album really.
No, but I've checked them out because you told me to before. Like back in the day, you were like, bro, A Lot Like Birds is like dude's other shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I liked at least a couple of songs off of there, but never like dived into an album or anything.
Yeah, I not too recently, but like not long ago, finally listened to the album they had, because Kurt left the band and he's in like Royal Coda, but they dropped an album with just Corey, the Screamer, and that album's good as fuck too. Fucking A, bro. Yeah, I could go on about Swancore lore until the end of days. Like, there's so much to it, and I just love all the music it spawned. And then, like, there's motherfuckers like one of my other top artists, at least modernly top 5, is Andreas.
Okay.
And he makes like fucking pop music,
yeah.
But it's like Swancore inspired pop, if you will. And he's like homies with like Kurt, and like he's got a song with Kurt. He's got a song with Donovan, which is dude from Hail the Sun.
Okay.
And
so he's in there.
Yeah, he's like in there, but if you were to just listen to his shit, it's just kind of like pop type shit. I fucks with it heavy.
What's he called again?
Andreas.
Like
Andre with the little fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, S. But Andreas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check it
I
out,
wish
bro.
his name wasn't like, because that's his music name. I wish it wasn't so simple because it's fucking hard to find him on shit half the time because it's just Andreas.
Yeah, that's the thing that's tough with aliases and shit like that. It's like you gotta.
Well, his name, I'm pretty sure it's like Andreas Asfaris. Like, it's just his, I can't
Name.
pronounce his last name, but it's just so simple that it's like, I remember on Spotify, there was some random Spanish album that uploaded. It wasn't even like Spanish, it was like Portuguese or some shit.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's like that, yeah.
It's some random ass shit.
Maybe he should put like an X in the beginning or something. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's already got fucking bunch of albums and slaps. He's got a song with Tyler Carter.
Really?
Yeah, you know.
Damn.
Yeah, and then in another song in the next album, he talks about how he got a song with a famous singer, but he doesn't know shit about marketing. He should hire a guy because it didn't do shit.
This man.
Nobody paid attention.
This man gotta have some money, bro.
Yeah, he saved up his money for that, but didn't save up for advertising it much. Just kind of figured it would do well, I guess. But
Yeah, cause like, I would look at it like that too. Like,
yeah, Tyler Carter on a fucking
yeah,
track.
me getting this look is like, this is the promo, bro.
But I mean, fucking Heavy Heart, no local band. Dan was in for a
I
while.
remember
They
that.
had fucking Garrett Rap on a track, and
It doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. Yeah.
And Dan was talking too. Told me how on like a radio interview for some Chicago radio, Garrett Rap. They were like, "Oh, what's your favorite feature you ever did?" And he said that song.
Oh damn.
And yeah, I do feel honored to be a part of that band. But yeah, Garrett Rap's goated, bro.
Yeah, no. Where's he from? Do you know?
I don't know, but I get a very. I think they're from Illinois.
Yeah.
But I get a very Nashville vibe from just the way bro carries himself. At least nowadays, like he's got that like.
He's leaning into it.
He seems like he's a country dude, but he fucks with like. He's got that country mentality, but he's into metal.
Right.
Also, dude, I did not realize, like I said, I've been listening to them a fucking lot lately. Their lyrics very inspiring. I did not realize how like religious some of their shit is, bro.
Oh yeah.
And
I feel like I didn't know that, but I knew that somehow.
I remember reading on their Wikipedia that there was some interviewer asked them like, "Are you guys a Christian band?" And they were like, "No, but I mean all the members are Christian, but it doesn't mean we're a Christian band."
Yeah.
But like going like, I don't know. I knew the words, but again, I didn't really know the meanings. I guess like, and you can be delivered even if it's late. Like I love that fucking line, but like shit like that and just.
They got
Different
some,
allegories.
Yeah, they got some dope shit.
They got some religious influence there
Right.
that they kind of talk about, but it's like, I don't know. And it's like, I want to recommend this to people, but if you listen to My Devil in Your Eyes, it's not very beginner friendly, if you will.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
I love that album, though. Fucking A.
Is there a genre that you would never listen to, bro? Or not check out?
No, I mean, I'll check out anything, and I don't, I have genres I dislike, but I at least try to understand their appeal.
Mm-hmm.
EDM and country being the main ones. Like, I'm not listening to any of that shit unless, like,
Okay,
Big Iron is considered country, I guess. That song fucks, but I don't really like that because of Fallout.
How, like, you can do, like, electronic influences in music, but not, like...
I don't want full, just... instrumental
Electronics.
electronic shit. Bill Murray, he's got some fucking EDM-esque parts in some of his songs where it'll just kind of randomly break into some shit like that.
Yeah.
But then you get back to the guitar and his singing and shit. It's not the whole song. It's like a fucking, 10, 15 second fucking break in the song.
You can do, like a fusion of it. Yeah.
But I don't want just that whole. And same with country. I mean, Bill Murray, for fuck's sake. He definitely vibes country in his own time. He's got a country singer in his song. He did the... first ever country breakdown in a song, bro.
Damn. I gotta hear it.
It fucks. But,
What's it called? Do you know?
it's on the song Absolutely Crank My Motherfucking Hog, or MF Hog.
Okay.
All one word, all caps. It's off Eggy Pockets. It's the first song on the album. Probably easier to do it that way, to write it down.
What's his name? Fucking...
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, yeah.
Bilmuri.
All right.
All one word, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it, bro. Well, I have a recommendation for you too. Puppet, just one
Puppet?
word, Puppet. Might be kind of hard
Band?
to find. just a one artist, bro, and he's actually signed to.
What song should I check out? Because motherfuckers tell me to check out artists, and I'm gonna play their worst song.
This is like a honorable mention for albums, but it's so new that like I need more time to sit with it. But 2022 project, New York Family. New York, is
that the song or the album?
The album title.
Should I listen to this song off or just play the album? Fuck it.
Play it all the way through because I feel like there's like that cohesive vibe to it. He like
New York what?
New York Family. He does it's like, so he's signed to I believe an EDM label, but like he has collaborations and his own EDM songs, I would call them, but there's almost always, and especially in his newer, always like punk influences, and like he's always bumping like Neck Deep, Story So Far, Blink, different stuff on his like IG that I follow. So like, you know, he's influenced by these things. It's just that from what I understand, his way into music was through EDM, and now he's trying to like
branch out from that,
make more fusion type of shit. Like it's like industrial fucking weird like noise rock.
See, like Ghost Rain kind of sort of go in that direction with the like industrial shit. Yeah. And I mean, it turned me away, but like there's still a few good songs I like, and like the songs he's got with Getter, Dan fucking hates because they got that EDM shit, but I like some of that. Like
some of it, yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I like that fusion of it. I don't want that. This is just. I don't want that shit, but like mix of it in with some shit. It's as long as it's done well.
I don't know how much. Yes, agreed. I don't, and I feel like with him, it's super unique. I like when I showed him like
BR or BL?
BL a couple years ago. He was as blown away by dude as I was because our music taste was so similar. So he was like, "Bro, like, I've never heard a fusion of shit like that," and I'm like, "Bro, me neither." Like, and obviously you're starting to find that more and more of like artists.
I mean, that's why I liked Bill Murray, because fucking he's very meme with his fucking album art and his names and shit. Like, he's got a song with John Mess on that album. He also has a song with Tillian and Caleb Shulman on the album before that. That's whatever. But it's called No, it's not the song with John Mess. The song before that, Post Almond Clarity.
Okay.
Joke is Post Nut Clarity. Yeah. And then he's got another song about a cashew, about a nut. But he's got a bunch of different shit. He's got an album, Goblin Hours, and just he's mean with that
vibe, bro.
And then his lyrics are like deep and just fucking damn near depressing type shit, like what he's going through. And
I like that. Yeah, very open-ended shit. Like, I'm gonna make it what I want to make it, and like, yeah, like that is that like, it's like you could tell that these people are very like, I don't know, free or whatever. Like, they're free, they're creating like what they want. It's not like they're stuck inside of parameters, you know what I'm saying? A box or whatever.
But yeah, he just like, I don't know, I like that he memes with shit, but he still makes genuinely good music. Like, okay, it's a song called Lord Farquadzilla. The fucking music video, he got a mocap suit and shit, and it was made in Unreal Engine, and he's like a fucking orc or some shit, and he's just like singing and whatever the fuck, and shit's fucking geeked. But like, song,
goes crazy.
It goes hard, but it's not meme hard. It's not some joke bullshit. So, I guess to continue on the topic of things, I got another honorable mention.
Okay.
Make the fuck fun of me for it. Professional Rapper, bro, by Lil Dicky.
Damn, alright.
So Dan put that shit on.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, so Dan put that shit on, and it was like, oh, this some fucking white rapper you might relate to or some shit, because it's just like a joke shit. And that was like the first rapper I kind of got into because it was taken as a joke. And then I started talking to the homie Quick Peso, and he was super big into Logic at the time. He'll probably be pissed that I said that, because now he talks how corn Logic is and shit.
Dude,
I still listen to Logic.
Me and him have a similar take.
Dude, I think Logic got super corny with everybody, but his albums after that, and I like.
I was like so on the train of him at the time that even I was sitting there listening to everybody like loving it, but it's mostly because it preached like unity, which obviously you gotta believe in, and like, you know, I thought that was great, and like,
but he got too preachy and he got too corny with.
He became a meme because of how much he talked about I'm black
Peace,
and
love,
I'm white. I'm black and I'm white.
That, and then peace, love, and positivity for every man, woman, and child, regardless of race, religion, color, creed, sexual orientation. He'd say that in every fucking song. I'm like, bruh. But
we get what you're about, bro.
Yeah, like, we get it. You were able to spread that message in other albums without fucking shouting it down our throat.
Yeah, Preacher.
Yeah.
Preacher Logic. Like, agreed, bro.
And, you know, that album had a couple good songs on it, but, like, Everybody, I think, was annoying as hell. I also thought it was funny because Everybody, like, 2 songs before that on the album, Juicy J ended the song by saying, kill your motherfucking self, Anna. Kill your motherfucking self. It's like...
How you gonna do both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I guess you gotta, but...
fucking A. But, that, it's like that... I took a break from, but then I came back after a while to the next albums, and I keep up with them, like College Park and Vinyl Days. I fucks with them.
But what about Lil Dick?
I liked the album Professional Rapper. I stand by. There's a few decent songs on there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say good, decent. Like the last song in the album's pretty good. Come to think of it, I think that might be the only one I still would fucks with. And then he's got a few songs that were like before that album that like All K is a good song.
Yeah.
Jewish Flow's alright.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, I mean he is a cornball, but he kind of acknowledges that, and it's kind of the thing.
That's part of his shtick, bro. Yeah. Like and that is like part of his appeal. Like where other people like Logic are like, I'm not fucking corny.
Yeah.
Like, Lil Dicky's like, call me corny all day.
Yeah. But see, I got into that because it was a meme, and then I was saying Quick Peso was super fucking, at the time.
Wait, is he a Lil Dicky denier?
Oh, he wasn't even talking about Lil Dicky, but because of Lil Dicky, I got into some Eminem songs and shit. And I was just playing GTA all the time with Quick Peso, and he would not shut the fuck up. He was big dick riding Logic. We were in high school, okay? I was still roasting for it. Whatever.
Bro, I was just the same, bro.
Yeah, so Flexecution dropped, and he would not shut up about that. So I got into that song, and I was like, I fucks with this. And then I listened to Bobby Tarantino when it dropped, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I went back and listened to Under Pressure.
Yeah.
That reshaped it. I mean, did you know before I like despised rap, bro? I was super anti-rap for no fucking reason. Under Pressure changed my mind, and
because Under Pressure, okay, look it. I've seen it called a poor man's Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick, because Good Kid, Mad City, I believe, came out 2 or 3 years before, and like there's a lot of instrumentals that have like similarities and stuff. It's not like every track is like a copy or anything like that. No, but like. There's definitely probably influence or inspiration. Logic is into rap. You know, he's always been like into rap.
See, like that's another reason. Like I don't really keep up with any rappers nowadays, but Logic, and it's I like him for the same reason I loved Alisana as a kid. He's a fucking nerd, and he's not like quiet about it. He's unapologetically. He's a fucking nerd. He's a dweeb, and he's also always about PMA, which is. Weird how much he parallels Alisana. They should do a collab, bro.
Right? Like, fuck it. It's 2023.
Dude, imagine Logic on a fucking Alisana song.
Or getting them to, like, do some weird sample or something. Like, that'd be cool. But...
Fucking speaking of Alisana samples, bro, fucking Suicide Boys sampled Alisana. I remember that shit.
Like, how hard? Like, what'd they use?
They used, like, the intro thing from, like, Icarus. Or no, it wasn't Icarus. It was from, the song's Pretty Leaves by Suicide Boys, but... What the fuck song? I can't think of the song. Can't think of the song from Alisana off the top of my head, but it's just like super slowed down, but it's got the vocals too. Emptiness has darkened my eyes as I hope, and then it like loops.
Okay.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Fucking Bone sampled La Dispute. You fuck La Dispute at all?
Nah, but I know you do. Like
La Dispute fucks, but I was geeked that Bone sampled them and shit. Because I don't know
too much Bones either. I've only looked up like okay, you do a YouTube search and then whatever like first pops up.
So I got into Boys before Bones, and I remember talking mad shit because everyone's like, "Oh, Boys ripped off Bones."
Oh, okay.
I don't think they did at all. I think they're completely different. But I was on the side of Bones sucks, and then I heard the song HDMI, and I was like, "Okay, Bones kind of fucks."
Yeah.
And then I got super into him for a while, but bro drops like 6 albums a year, and I can't keep up with all that because they're like fucking 15 songs an album.
Can you look at it like, well, you said Bones came first, right?
Yeah, Bones was doing shit in like 2013, bro.
So look at like bro. Is it likely that Suicide Boys was tapped into what Bones was doing?
Yeah, definitely. Their Suicide Boys' first album has a song featuring Bones.
So like, boom, Bones opened up the portal for like what.
But
came.
like, yeah, but motherfuckers are like, oh, rip them off, dude. They're so completely different. If anything, Suicide Boys more so ripped off 3-6 than fucking Bones.
This is like the. Maybe I'm wrong. It's kind of like the Dragon Ball One Piece thing, where it's like, yeah, they're inspired. To what extent?
I've never heard that, honestly.
Oh, I'll link you a good.
I'll link you a good
live stream debate that people were having. It's like okay, bro. Like, yeah, you might not have been able to have one without the other one, but is that necessarily true? We don't.
How so?
Know.
I figure. A lot of animes follow that very. I don't know if it's because of just Japanese folklore. I mean, it's kind of a common theme throughout a lot of like media, but like Japanese culture has that, especially of like specific archetypes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's all shit is. Like Naruto, Goku, Luffy, they all are very similar. They're the same fucking archetype of a main character.
Both of those creators will list Dragon Ball as like a prime inspiration, but then people will be like, that doesn't mean that their stories are the same as that story and shit, which is true. Like, I agree to that point, but it's like you're saying they had no choice but to like go in that lane. Like, they're in that lane, that genre, I guess, so they're gonna have similarities.
They're gonna have similarities,
but they're different.
And also, if something does it first, it's like, you can be influenced by something. I remember talking to my cousin Tom about this of Haunter. We should honestly get him on. Haunter's doing shit. But anyways, shout out Haunter. Talking to him about this when I was talking about my writing shit when I was doing that at the time. Mm-hmm. And talking about how, I want this kind of influenced by this. And not to be ashamed of your influences. Mm-hmm. And I kind of get that from George Lucas. He wore his influences on his sleeve. Logic, you were just talking about too. Does the same shit.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're copying this. It's like, no, this helped inspire what they're kind of going for, but they still made it their own.
Yeah, like, I think me and you both agree. And I guess our view is the same, but I'll like further say, like, no matter how hard you try, you literally like can't replicate what they did unless you like directly copy it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, even unless you directly like study it and copy thing for thing, you still aren't gonna do it how like they did it. I don't know.
It's almost like I say the same thing constantly, but there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
motherfuckers don't be realizing that. It's like, okay, but the thing is, if you take this piece and this piece from these two different things, you put them together in a way that motherfuckers haven't done, it makes something new. And if you do it well, even if it's like, oh, that's obviously inspired by fucking Goku, and that guy's obviously inspired by fucking, I don't fucking know. Yeah, sure. It's like, it's still its own fucking thing at the end of the day.
Right.
It's like these things influenced it, but especially a lot of times it's like, you're inspired by multiple things that culminate in something new. I guess
what I'm trying to describe is like, I don't know if it's like divine expression, but like we all have our own divine expression, bro. Like the way we're going to express creating a thing is different from person to person, unless you're unless it's like, say, making these computers or something. Like, motherfuckers are gonna figure out what's the industry standard to making the computer, try to replicate most parts to be uniform to what.
But then they whatever makes it work, and then they're gonna try to change it and make it their own, and to make it better to their own personal opinion and what they think works. It's literally
it's logic, bro. Like, that's how you move shit forward and shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
it would be counterintuitive for One Piece or for Suicide Boys to carbon copy what the first person did. That they don't.
That doesn't work. Yeah, but you kind of have to be influenced from something. You don't. Like, you can have original ideas, but they still kind of have to be based off of experiences. And you can have multiple different experiences, that culminate in something, but you can't have that culmination without the prior experiences, the prior knowledge and perception of things.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. So that's what, like, I don't know. Does that kind of make us believe that like originality is kind of like a myth in a way? Like it's
so
real,
nothing new is under the sun, but you can still combine the things in an original, unique way.
Yeah.
So it's like the pieces that make it up will never be original, but the final product can
originality is like tapping into what already is.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Because you can't make something else.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't make
it's like alchemy, bro.
You can't make a fucking table without a tree prior just because this is a fucking copy of a tree. It's like, no, just because it takes the elements of a tree, it redistributes it in a new fucking way. Yeah. And fuck you.
Yeah. That's how things change and shit. So, check it out. What is the main way that you find new music to consume, if any way?
Truth be told, I really haven't been finding a lot of crazy new shit. I feel like if I do, it's kind of I stumble into shit. It's weird.
Through which mediums?
Through
YouTube?
No, I don't really listen to music on YouTube. Just like I don't know. It'll be a lot of the time of like, oh, there's a dude featured in this song. They're pretty hard, and then I'll go find out whatever they're from, and then that can change. Or I've heard of this band, I'm gonna check them out. Kind of just that word of mouth. I heard it somewhere, and I'm looking for new music. Let's check it out.
We're keeping it old school over here, bro. Traditional. We're not looking on fucking playlists and Spotify.
Yeah. And then I'll go and I'll be like, oh, I only listen to old ass shit from this artist. Let's go see what they're on now. I've been doing that with like, so The Plot New, they dropped Dispose, and I didn't really like that album when it dropped.
Okay.
And I fell off of them completely. Then they dropped new fucking single recently that's heavy as shit. And then that's like, when artists drop singles and they'll have like the last singles attached in one fucking thing. So I was listening to like those 3 new singles and I was like, I want more Plot. So then I went and re-listened to Dispose. I fucks with it way more, and then I listened to that other album after that, Swan Song. That album goes hard as shit too. Well, some parts very sad. But I've re-established my love for The Plot and You, and things like that. I guess just kind of, yeah. I haven't really discovered anything crazily new in a while, other than Bill Murray and like Andreas, which have become my favorite artists. But I don't know. It's the kind of music I like. A lot of people aren't really doing crazy new shit.
Fair, yeah.
What about you? How do you discover shit?
So it'll be like, I guess I can say 3 different ways, bro. YouTube, one, because I'm on there a lot, so therefore like one of the main things that I watch is either like live music or just like having music on. So like,
yeah, it's like I don't use YouTube for music, but I'm on YouTube all the fucking time watching dumb shit.
Yeah, like, and I'll use it for plenty of that too, or whatever my daily, who like people I subscribe to or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But either YouTube, and like now it just recommends me shit, so that's like, I guess good if you want to have new shit to listen to, which is, it's pretty nice. Like you get a random live performance of some like 70s band or 80s band or whatever the fuck you're into, and or like some old like mixtape or something, because it just literally is curating the shit for me, so it just shows up. And then other ways are either listening to the radio with my dad, which is like kind of strange to listen to, like for that to be a way, but like it just is. We ride into work, and then he has on like one of 4 different kind of stations he puts on for like the rock shit, and like it be some new bands on there that I've never heard, or bands I do know with tracks I've never heard that'll make me go look that album up or that band up, and like
I never listen to the radio because I don't know, I feel like every time I hear shit, maybe it's just I still got the old mindset that I used to always have with shit, but I don't know. I also like to just kind of pick. I want to hear this right now because I want to listen to shit in my car for the most part, music wise.
Yeah.
At least nowadays.
So like, yeah, I'll literally just like, I'll just go pull up Spotify real quick or whatever the fuck and be like, oh, let me like save that and listen to it later, and I'll do that. And then naturally, Spotify recommends me shit once I get on to listening to what I want to look up, and
I'll do that sometimes too, where it's like, I'll hear something like when I'm around with Dan, be like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I'll go save it. And I won't fucking listen to it. And then randomly, I'll be listening to all my shit on shuffle and it'll come on and be like, ooh. And then I'll go get into that album or some shit.
Yeah. So
like
it's
from
like
a single,
random discoveries and shit. But yeah, still YouTube and Spotify, I guess, do recommend me music. But I spend far less time on Spotify than I used to. Like, I used to be on there, like, looking through recommended artists and, like, going through discographies and shit. I don't really do that too much anymore, but you know, I still try to look for new music, I guess.
I'm weird. I gotta be in the right mood to listen to something new. I gotta be like, it's time for something new. Or else it's a lot of time I'm just like, I just want to listen to something you got
your wheelhouse and shit.
Yeah,
like,
and I listen to a decent array of music. Obviously, I listen to mostly metal, but like, you know, sometimes I go, oh, I want to listen to fucking Joey Badass today, or I want to listen to fucking MSI, or I want to listen to Real Big Fish, or some shit. It's like, you know, whatever vibe I'm feeling. I kind of found bands that kind of suit all the vibes I get, and that's worked. And then eventually it's like, all right, I'm sick of this. I need something to replace that.
Yeah.
And then I'll go looking. But yeah, got anything else written there?
Well, an honorable mention, because you made me think of it, is definitely, like, it's not even honorable mention. This should have been on my fucking list, bro. The Incredible True Story from Logic.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's, like, one of my favorite albums. That's I'm going on a long drive.
Yeah, like, that's...
That and fucking Californication are my go-tos for... I'm on a long drive and I want them to just kind of chill and listen to.
It's literally, like, an audio... visual that it gives you. It takes
College
you on a
Park,
fucking journey.
His newest album, the same kind of shit, but it's not like a space story. It's like him as he was blowing up or whatever, just cruising with the homies and then going to a show and shit. But it's puts you there, and there's some skits overstay their welcome, and you know, one thing with skits like that, it's like it's funny the first time, but then after like the 7th playthrough, it gets annoying. Whereas I don't know. I feel like the skits in The Incredible True Story don't necessarily overstay their welcome.
They don't. They're like, it flows like so perfectly. Like just like the pacing of the album is very perfect in my opinion. Or at least that's how it felt.
Yeah.
And Logic really like put his mind and heart into that bitch. Like really, what do you call it? Meticulous. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like holy shit. And I listened to that motherfucker, like, in my Logic phase, like, the most out of anything. And it's definitely, like, I could understand somebody liking, you know, whatever project more, maybe Under Pressure, like...
Yeah, that's my favorite album.
Yeah, because, like, he's fucking hungry and Under Pressure, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, he's really, like, doing his thing, but it's very raw. But, like, The Incredible True Story is, like, he made a movie... as an album.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck, like, how'd he do that?
So, yeah, he does that, too, to a different extent in College Park. The one skit I'm thinking of in particular that overstays the welcome is because, as I said, they're kind of cruising and, like, getting the homies and shit, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's a good vibe of...
I gotta hear it.
Of, like, yeah, the come-up, if you will, where he was in 2011 type shit. But the one skit, bro, because they go to, like, a drive-through... And Logic does the drive-through person's voice, and it's just it's too fucking long. And it's real life the way they go about it, and like why it's so long. But it's like you hear it once and it's funny, and then the second time it's like okay,
it's very skippable.
Yeah,
I feel that.
And it's not like cause The Incredible True Story, the long skits were their own songs, whereas the skits in this album are all at the end of a song.
Right.
So
and also okay. I know, like, they all feel cohesive and stuff, but, like, okay, on The Incredible True Story, it's literally, like, a dramatic story that you're, like, a part of, almost, in a way. So, like...
And the songs on The Incredible True Story do a lot better vibe of setting the tone of what this, like what the story itself
where
is.
they're at.
Yeah, where it's at, and just the narrative pacing of like how the songs go.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it better than that.
Bro,
my words fuck.
What's that one song, bro? I think it might be. No, it's not Fade Away. It's
Is it The Upgrade?
the one song goes like this. At the beginning, Logic's like, get it, and then it's like a trumpet.
Get it? Yeah, dude, and that just goes into it.
But like, dude, okay, motherfucking my coworker back at Arby's would like he'd put that album on. Every time that would come on, he'd be like, get it, and I'd be like, bro, you're crazy. Like, but just that album was always around, bro, at that time, and like crazy. So
yeah, I love
mention that.
Yeah, how albums set the vibe. Just another song that really sets the vibe for the fucking album, bro. Fucking The Murderer by Alisana that just shipped to fucking AD. You know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember. It's been like at least like 7-8 years.
I'll show you in the intermission between the after hours. But fuck, you want to call this one?
Yeah, GG's, bro. It was a good one.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in for your weekly serving of The Many Parallels.
Tell us what album you like.
Yeah, tell us your most influential albums in the comments. If there's anything else you want to talk to us about, or fucking, hey, talk about this, fuckers. Let us know. Love you for checking us out. Rate on whatever shit you're watching it on. Share it with the homies if you think they like it. If you think they won't, I mean, you can still share it with them. But we out.